This video is actually about dispelling some myths about a very common topic in America and around the world about the idea of socialized medicine. Now, as you can guess from the obvious title of this video, in my opinion, socialized medicine is not so great. What do I mean by that? Well, put very simply, it's just like the title says, socialized medicine is not so great. And to be more specific than that, let me start by backing up a little. Socialized medicine is this kind of utopian view of medicine that everyone not only has the right to free or, rights to medical care, but that actually the cost of it will be reduced to a negligible amount, and that the convenience of it will remain as high and as effective as even in the best, most highly advanced medical nations on earth, such as the United States. Now, the United States has a huge amount of problems when it comes to the healthcare industry. Americans pay more for medicines by far than any other country. Americans pay more for medical procedures by far than other countries. Americans pay a lot for insurance, more than most, if not all, other countries. But here's the thing. In America, you have all kinds of available healthcare, including the world's most advanced things, right? If it exists anywhere when it comes to medicine, yes, there might be innovations that happen in other countries first. Like, for example, I'm in Israel. A lot of world's firsts happen here when it comes to medicine. But when it comes to scalability and the actual deliverable of a medical treatment, even on an experimental level, beyond being the very patient zero in whatever country somebody happened to discover something in, the US is by far the country that has the most advanced medical treatments at any scale. So if you need something that's very advanced, it's probably going to cost you an arm and a leg. But if it's available anywhere, it'll be in the US. Then again, if you need a lot of basic stuff, it will also definitely be available in the US if it's available anywhere. Unless for some reason the US has banned it, which is pretty rare, but it does happen. And in those cases, guess what? If a patient still wants that and can afford to do it, they usually can find a way to go to another place to get it done, where it isn't banned, right? There's a lot of medical tourism in the world. And for that, you pay whatever fee it is to travel to that location and get the medical treatment you need done, whether it's buying certain pharmaceuticals or getting specific treatments or surgeries or whatever. Right? Those are options. But those are exceedingly rare compared to the overall basket of needs that people have throughout their lives. And therefore, their healthcare can be met in the United States, with the key factor being, can you afford it? U.S. healthcare is notoriously expensive, to the point that even with the American Health Care Act, and even with 80 or 90 million more Americans having some form of baseline healthcare now, compared to whatever it was 15 years ago, before they had healthcare, right? Before the uninsured could afford to get any healthcare. it's still very expensive, right? So yes, more people have access to healthcare now for certain baseline things, and that's wonderful. But it is still very expensive compared to many other places. Nevertheless, it is available, and at least most people can afford some kind of basic healthcare that they could not afford before. And that's all good and wonderful. But it still has a lot of privatization in the marketplace. And frankly, that's part of the reason that the US remains the market leader when it comes to making anything available to customers. And then you have countries where there's socialized medicine. I live in one right now. And I know all you anti-Israel people are going to say, oh, how come Israelis all get free health care? Like Cenk and Anna from the Young Turks who are constantly bitching and moaning about, oh, stop giving aid to Israel. They get free health care and we don't. No, that's not how it works. The foreign aid to Israel does not go into our health care bill. The money that Israel takes from the US for foreign aid, it doesn't even want most of it, most of the time. It accepts the foreign aid as a political token. Okay, it lets the US have continued influence in Israel. All that money, pretty much all of it, like 70%, goes immediately back into US jobs. Okay, into US manufacturing jobs, US other contractor and subcontractor jobs. The US provides services and goods to Israel that Israel is contractually obligated to buy with the money it gets from the US. And guess what it has to do with the other 30% that it doesn't have to spend on US goods? It has to spend that money buying goods and services from countries like Russia and China, countries that the US can't easily buy from, in order to reverse engineer those things and give the intel to the United States. So it is a completely symbiotic relationship. Okay, the US is strengthening its own job market by pretending to give foreign aid. And they are giving foreign aid, but that money all goes back to the US. They're not just giving money to a country that's just spending the money on, rice or whatever. No. They're giving money to Israel that Israel has to spend on American goods and services. And then the rest of it goes to benefit the United States Department of Defense by getting intel from Israeli engineers who reverse engineer products that Americans can't easily buy directly. So, anyway, about the healthcare. Israel has socialized healthcare, pretty much always has. And on paper, it sounds wonderful. Oh, you pay just a few dollars a month or maybe $100 a month, depending on your coverage plan, and you get all this wonderful medicine. But the fact is, there are a lot of basic medicines, or medicines that are considered fairly basic or fairly common in the US, that are not covered by all the medical baskets, as they call them here, like the HMOs. And this happens in a lot of countries with socialized healthcare. What it means is, in the end, that a lot of people go without a lot of their needs being met. Socialized healthcare. Hold on one second.